Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. This your Akim and Drill Azil, back with another quick lesson. And this topic is about, the insecurity, man, of Babylon the Great, aka America, and that these Babylonians, especially the 2/3 of Israel, which make up the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they trust upon this system, man. They really think that they're secure in this system, man. But we see through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, the destination of this place is what? Destruction, man. And it's all, there's events that happen that dismantle, and the dismantling of the empire, man, it doesn't abruptly happen overnight, man. That's what these people think, that, if it happens, it's going to everything is going to fall apart, fall apart suddenly, in which that is the scripture, suddenly destruction shall fall upon them. But these people think that everything's going to happen overnight, man. But there's a process to, there was a process of building this place. There's a process of dismantling this place, man. And it starts by what? You can see examples of this place being dismantled is what's coming to play right here. This is from which is a topic that I did a lesson on before, but I'm gonna make a second lesson on is what these SNAP benefits, man. This source is from CBS News. This was today, October the 21st, 2025 at 9:09 a.m. And the subtitle reads, "States warn SNAP benefits may stop in November if government shutdown continues," man. So they're saying that these SNAP benefits, WIC, Section 8, etc., will stop if this government shutdown persists. I'm going to go into a little bit of this article, man. It says states are warning struggling Americans who rely on food stamps to pay for groceries that they may miss out on benefits coming November. Starting October 16th, SNAP's Supplemental Nutrition Association program benefits will not be paid until the federal government shutdown ends and funds are released to PA, reads a notice from the Pennsylvania state website. New Jersey, Maryland, New York, and Texas are among the other states that have issued similar notices. So these benefits that, especially the so-called Negroes, these Negroes in these projects, low-income houses, or, which information is coming out now that really the biggest recipients of the SNAP benefits or welfare is the so-called white race. You know what I'm saying? They're the biggest people that use welfare, but it's, the projection is niggas, man. Niggas in the projects, that's them. It's for them. But the biggest recipients of this welfare system is the self-proclaimed white people, man. But we're going to see what this is going to happen, man. The befall of this, the dismantling of this place, man, starts with things like this, man. And what's another possibility? They dismantle this. Well, hey, we're going to eliminate this. I'm just using an example, not to say this is exactly what's going to happen. We're using scenarios where a possibility could happen. Now they it's like they're taking away these people benefits. Then what they can issue is what? The MOTB, man. And say, hey, okay, if you get this, we will restore your SNAP benefit only if you receive this mark. That could be an example. I'm just using an example. But that's how these devils gonna do, man. They're gonna, rely. So like these people, it's like our biggest influence is what? on people's decision making is what? Hunger, man. Hunger and thirst can play a big influence on a person's decision making. So if these people, say for instance, take away your ability to purchase food altogether, take away food in general, that can heavily influence a lot of people. And that's what these devils going to do, man. They're going to give you ultimatums, either get with this program or, do without or possibly death, man. But that's where we're going. And I'm going to just go into this precept. I didn't plan for this lesson to be long, but I'm going to go into this precept. This is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 18, and I'm going to start at 19. It says, and so like 2 Kings, chapter 18 and 19, it says, and Rabshakeh said unto them, speak ye now to Hezekiah, thus saith the great king, the king of Assyria, what confidence is this wherein thou trustest? Thou sayest, but they are but vain words. I have counsel and strength for the war. Now on whom dost thou trustest, that thou rebellest against me? Which is the point. Now, behold, thou trustest upon the staff of this bruised reed, man. This bruised reed, mean this system is already broken, man. These people still are trusting and relying on this system to what? As a security, as security, man. This system is broken. Like there was this perceived to be a Judite female. She's professing that she studied law. She's affiliated with people that are in that study the same subject that she studied, the economy and etc. That this administration on this government, I'm gonna put it like this government system has been pretty much dysfunctional for years, man. It's not together, man. It's like say for instance, they're making decrees on the judicial system, on the judicial level, that the executive branch, which is like the police, military, etc., are supposed to enforce, but the judicial decision is based on the the conduct that the military / police, etc., are doing. So who is going to enforce the enforcers, man? Because they pretty much they said that's the separations of power. The judicial has their the judicial branch have their function, the legislation, and the executive. They all have different functions. That's the separation of power. But the legislative decision was made against, I think it was like these ICE / National Guard troops. They couldn't do certain things, but they were still doing them. So who, and they're supposed to be the ones that's enforcing policy. You know what I'm saying? But the policy is against them, but they're still doing what the judicial branch had forbade them to do. So who's going to enforce them when in actuality they're the enforcers? That's an example of, a broken system, man. This broken reed, man. 2 Kings 18 and 21, it says, now behold, thou trusted upon this staff, Salakia, of this bruised reed, this system, man, even upon Egypt. This place is what? Spiritually, Sodom and Egypt. on which if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, unto all that trust on him, man. So to all these people that trust on this system, man, you're going to be what? Disappointed, man. Like these people are trusting upon, this system of, to continue to provide for them as a security, meaning food, shelter. And they're already telling these people that these government, assistant programs for the needy, poor, mainly a good percentage of these jakes, man, depend upon this system, man. Welfare, WIC, food stamps, snaps, Section 8, whatever you want to call it, man. They heavily depend upon this system, but it was designed that way because you can't be black. I'm going to just use an example. You can't be quote unquote black and independent in this system, man. There's an exception. You may have a few, but it's a small few, but you can't do that, man. But they set aside programs for these foreigners to come in. They can come in and build little societies in Babylon the Great and have government assistance and programs to build their little empire within this empire. I'm gonna say they're Salaki, not empire, but their little communities within this empire, man. And they got government assistance, but they won't allow the so-called Negroes, for example, to do that, man. They're not going to allow you to build your own independent, self-sufficient community, man, because it wasn't designed. This place wasn't meant for us to be on that level, man. And those that already know, we already know today we're still in the land of our captivity. So you're not meant to prosper in the land of your captivity, man. It's all this rights and etc. All these things are illusion. There was nothing more than mere privileges this devil disguised as rights to allow you people to do certain things. Now the cloak is being revealed. Now you seeing this devil for who they really are, man. You seeing this system for what it is. It's a what? Like the bruised reed is broken, man. They're rolling back things. You know what I'm saying? That these people say, hey, it's 2025. Why are they still talking about Jim Crow laws? Why are they still talking about segregation? Why are they still talking about they're repealing or going back on their people's protective right of equality to vote? Why are these things still being talked about? Because this system and these people's expectation of this system was all a facade from the beginning, man. They let meaning these devils, let amongst these Negro society and community, they let these certain niggas do what they do to give off this false narrative, man. They the ones that picked and allow certain niggas to prosper, to give off this false ass facade of equality, or this is a place to prosper, man. I'm gonna read this again. 2 Kings 18-21. It says, now behold, thou trusted upon this staff of this bruised reed, this broken system, man, even upon Egypt, on which if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, unto all that trust on him, man. So all these people that trust on this system, who is the king? No king rally. The Pharaoh king of Egypt is symbolically Esau Edom, the simple plain white man, and the guy that's in legislation right now, man. Yeah, man, he's that cruel ruler, man, that cruel king, man. Just like the teacher was saying, man. I'm gonna read the New Living Translation, then I'm gonna close it out. 2 Kings 18:21 again says, O Egypt, if you lean on Egypt, it will be like a reed that splinters beneath your weight and pierces your hand. Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, is completely unreliable, man. So this system is unreliable, man. You can't rely on this broken system, man. But a lot of these, especially these Negroes, they do. Like they want to act like they try to prove you wrong. And it's evident, like the precept says, or the scripture said, the writing is on the wall, man. You know, we can see what's going on a global scale. All these tensions amongst these different nations, man. Venezuela, you know, one of the newest, which, you know, there's information that this devil attempted to take the life of the Venezuelan president not too long ago, man. You know, and now he's telling you outright that he's forming a coup. At first, you had to find information out like, oh, you forming a coup from like these journalists. You know what I'm saying? These whistleblowers. Then you will find out, now this dude outright telling you that they're forming a coup. And you got to look up what a coup means, look up what that word means, to overthrow another country's government, man. That's a dictator, man. That's terrorist. So let if anybody else were to try to come in and say, hey, we're forming a coup to overthrow the government of the United States, they will call them terrorists, man. But they can do that to other countries and have you idiot people believe it. All they got to do is call them either one terrorists or drug dealers. Because that's what he calling the Venezuelan president, drug dealers. With this information with Lord willing, I got that there was, you know, years ago, the CIA and Venezuela, you know, there was sources in Venezuela. I can't recall the exact sources, but there were sources in Venezuela that the CIA, along with these certain Venezuelans, allow shipment of cocaine to be distributed in America, man. So the CIA assisted them, man. They pretty much orchestrated the drug system, man. They created the drug smuggling system, man. They came up, they the one created that, allowing shipment of drugs to enter the United States. That's why we're in what they call a drug epidemic, man. You know, because they've done that. Now they're gonna flip the script and call these people terrorists or drug dealers, where they're the ones that help fund / build them, man. Like ICE, the Taliban, you know, Hamas. All these organizations were helped by what they call now the opposition now. You know, they were helped and created, funded by, now is their opposition, man. You know, but I'm in and off there, man. Lord willing, this lesson was edified. Till next time, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakak Wadash. This is your Akim and Drill Azil. Lord willing, I'll be back with another lesson. Till next time, Shalom, Barakatham, and the Baba Ball Shalom.